Picture this. You're at a coffee shop, minding your own business, when you notice a woman across the room stealing glances at you. She quickly looks away when your eyes meet, but then does it again. And again. You start wondering, is she interested or are you just imagining things? Here's what most men don't realize. Women are constantly sending signals about attraction, but they're speaking a language most guys never learn to decode. What if I told you that the woman who seems uninterested might actually be screaming her attraction for you, just in ways you've never been taught to recognize? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited you're here today because we're diving deep into something that could completely change how you see yourself and your interactions with women. Today, we're going to uncover the 8 subtle but unmistakable signs that women find you attractive, even when they're not throwing themselves at you or making it painfully obvious. These are the silent signals, the subconscious behaviors, and the psychological responses that reveal exactly what women really think about you. By the end of this video, you'll never have to wonder again whether a woman finds you attractive, because you'll know exactly what to look for. Let's start with a hard truth that society never taught you. Attractive men often have no idea how attractive they really are. This might sound counterintuitive, but here's why it happens. Most guys operate under the assumption that if women found them attractive, they'd be getting constant attention, obvious flirtation, or women would be making the first move. But that's not how female psychology works. Women are incredibly strategic when it comes to showing interest. They've been socialized to be subtle, to protect themselves from rejection, and to maintain a certain level of mystery. This means that even when a woman finds you absolutely irresistible, she's probably not going to walk up to you and tell you directly. Instead, she's going to use a complex system of signals, behaviors, and energy shifts that most men completely miss. So let's start with sign number 1, the magnetic eye contact pattern. The first sign is all about eye contact, but not the kind you think. When a woman finds you attractive, she'll make eye contact with you and hold it for just a second longer than what feels normal for a casual glance. This isn't accidental. It's her way of testing whether you'll notice and how you'll respond. But here's the key detail most men miss. After she makes that initial eye contact and looks away, she'll look back again. This second look is the golden confirmation. She's not just randomly scanning the room. She's specifically checking to see if you're still looking at her or if you noticed her initial signal. Picture this scenario. You walk into a restaurant, and as you're being seated, you catch a woman at a nearby table looking at you. She maintains eye contact for about 2 seconds, longer than a polite acknowledgement, but not so long that it feels aggressive. She then looks down at her menu. A few minutes later, as you're settling into your seat, you notice her eyes drift back to you again. That's not coincidence. That's attraction. Women understand that eye contact is intimate, and they use it strategically. When she gives you that lingering look, followed by the return glance, she's essentially saying, I see you, I'm interested, and I want to know if you see me too. Sign number 2, the gravitational pull effect. Attractive men create what I call a gravitational pull. Women naturally find reasons to be in their vicinity. This isn't about women being obvious or aggressive. It's about subtle positioning and proximity choices that happen almost subconsciously. You'll notice this in various environments. At a party, she might migrate toward your conversation group even though there are plenty of other interesting people to talk to. At work, she might take the long route to the coffee machine that happens to pass by your desk. At the gym, she might choose the treadmill that gives her a clear line of sight to where you're working out. This behavior stems from a deep psychological principle. We want to be near people we find attractive, even if we're not ready to make a direct move. It's her way of increasing the chances of natural interaction while maintaining plausible deniability. Sign number 3, the authority and presence recognition. Here's something that extends far beyond physical appearance. When you're truly attractive, people naturally listen when you speak. This happens because attractiveness creates what psychologists call the halo effect. When someone possesses one highly desirable trait, people subconsciously assume they possess other positive qualities as well. When you speak in a group setting, notice if people stop their side conversations to listen. Pay attention to whether women lean in when you're talking, maintain eye contact throughout your stories, or ask follow-up questions that show they're genuinely engaged. This level of attention doesn't happen by accident. The halo effect means that people associate your physical attractiveness with intelligence, confidence, leadership ability, and social value. This is why attractive men often find that their opinions carry more weight in conversations, their jokes get bigger laughs, and their suggestions are taken more seriously. Sign number 4, the subconscious mirroring response. One of the most powerful indicators of attraction is something called mirroring, when a woman subconsciously copies your body language and movements. This happens because attraction creates a desire for connection and synchronization on a deep psychological level. Watch for these subtle mimicking behaviors. If you lean back in your chair, does she do the same a few moments later? If you take a sip of your drink, does she reach for hers? If you cross your arms or change your posture, does her body language shift to match yours? This mirroring often happens completely unconsciously. She's not deliberately trying to copy you. Her brain is simply responding to the attraction by wanting to sync her energy with yours. It's one of the most reliable signs because it's so difficult to fake or control consciously. Sign number 5, the quality of compliments you receive. Attractive men receive a specific type of compliment that goes beyond surface-level appearance. While less attractive men might occasionally hear "nice shirt" or basic politeness, attractive men hear comments that reveal deeper fascination. Listen for compliments like, "I really like talking to you. You have such an interesting perspective. There's just something about you. You have such a confident energy." Or, "You're really easy to be around." These comments reveal that she's moved past the initial physical attraction and is now processing the full package of who you are. These types of compliments are significant because they show she's paying attention to your presence, your energy, and your personality traits, not just your appearance. When a woman makes these observations, it means she's already decided you're physically attractive and is now exploring what makes you uniquely appealing. Sign number 6, the attention magnetism. Attractive men naturally draw attention without trying, and this creates a noticeable pattern of behavior from others. You'll catch people looking at you more frequently than average. Sometimes it's quick glances, sometimes it's more obvious staring that stops when you notice. This attention comes from both women and men, but for different reasons. Women look because they're attracted or curious. Men look because they're either sizing up potential competition or trying to understand what makes you stand out. Pay attention to these patterns. Do you notice eyes following you when you enter a room? Do you catch the same people glancing at you multiple times throughout an evening? Do women seem to notice when you arrive or leave a social setting? This kind of attention magnetism is a clear indicator that your presence has an impact. Sign number 7, male response patterns. Other men's behavior around you can be incredibly revealing about your attractiveness level. Men instinctively recognize social and physical dominance, and they respond in predictable ways that women also notice and factor into their attraction. Respectful responses include other men listening when you speak, copying elements of your style or behavior, including you in social introductions, and asking for your opinions on decisions. These behaviors show that other men see you as someone worth emulating or aligning with. Competitive responses include trying to one-up your stories, making passive-aggressive comments disguised as compliments, suddenly becoming more animated when women are around, or attempting to redirect attention away from you. While these behaviors might seem negative, they're actually confirmation that these men perceive you as high-value competition. Women are incredibly attuned to these male dynamics. They notice how other men treat you, and it significantly influences their perception of your attractiveness and social status. Sign number 8, the assumption of options. Perhaps the most telling sign is when people assume you have romantic options without you saying anything about your dating life. This assumption comes from the energy you project, the confidence of someone who's used to being wanted. You'll notice this when women make comments like, "I bet you say that to all the girls." "You probably have women messaging you all the time." Or, "I can't believe someone like you is single." These aren't random observations. They're responses to the confident, non-desperate energy that attractive men naturally project. This assumption also appears in how women interact with you. They might show slight jealousy before you've given them any reason to be jealous. Or they might compete for your attention even in casual group settings. This happens because they sense that you're someone other women would want, which automatically increases your desirability. If you recognize even 3 or 4 of these signs in your daily life, you're significantly more attractive than you probably give yourself credit for. The key insight here is that women are constantly communicating their interest. You just need to learn their language. Understanding these signals isn't just about validation. It's about confidence. When you can recognize genuine interest, you can move through the world with the assurance that comes from truly knowing your worth. You'll stop second-guessing yourself and start operating from a place of confidence that makes you even more attractive. If this video opened your eyes to signs you've been missing, smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow and brings this content to more men who need to hear it. I want to hear from you in the comments. Which of these signs surprised you the most? Or have you noticed any of these patterns in your own life? Your experiences help other viewers learn too. Until next time, keep being amazing, and I'll see you in the next video.